All right, I'm back, and now is the most important part of the whole experience, me listening to those 2,000 euro headphones, and I can't fucking wait. I just put them on my head, and the feeling, I quite frankly, I can say that I never experienced something like that in all the time of me being alive, from the haptical feedback and just like how the whole mechanical thing is working. Like, as I said, I have 300 euro headphones. Like, those are, for example, normal working class headphones. I think around like maybe 200 euro or something like that. This has such a mechanical feeling. So the sound that it makes, because it's all so sturdily built and so forth, it's undescribable. But we already showed you a little bit of the detail. I can just tell you that it is superbly built, and that you will never forget the moment when you put the MM500 on your head, basically. Like, that is etched into my memory forever now. That feeling of this. This feels very substantial. Like, super good. Okay, let's go into the hearing test. I want to listen to a little bit of music. First, I'm going to listen to a drum and bass project of myself that is called Ice Pick. No, Frostbite. Frostbite, exactly. I think it's in 25. Give me just a second. I will edit the video, probably, hopefully for you, viewer. I will hopefully edit the video. Music, 25. Droidix. Frostbite master. Okay, track number 1 is basically a track from myself that I know very well and that I have listened to on those DT990 super bass line working headphones before. So now what I'm going to do is listen to Frostbite on the Audis.
Time
Okay, that was definitely one of the best moments of my life, I would say. Like, literally, like, sorry, I have to level that in a little bit. Okay, that was incredible. It was really incredible. There was just one track that I listened to that I created a while ago. I will give a full impression into the main camera in just a second. But oh my fucking god. Like, it's like touching excellence. It's like looking at the Mona Lisa, or it's like going into an 8-star hotel and touching, you know, the furniture and bedding in an 8-star hotel, and then having the feeling of like, okay, now you have touched excellence. This is what I feel, truthfully. Like, this is my, like, Audis didn't pay me. This guy didn't pay me that lets me listen to my music with those headphones. Nobody paid me to say this. But I, as a person who all my life worked with this shit, can tell you confidently that this is one of the best headphones that I had the pleasure to ever listen to. Like, in my subjective experience from the first go. Whatever that means, right? Like, that's just like a very super subjective experience. The whole thing is just like presented to you also in this extraordinary way. It's not only the headphone. It's never only one thing. It's always the layers and the details. And for example, it comes in this box. And as I described or tried to describe before, also the motion, the haptic feedback that this metal structure gives you if you basically adjust it to your head is second to none. That feels like military weapon grade, kind of really absurd, in my opinion. Like a very sensational experience. Of course, how people value those experiences is very different. For me, I value them very much. So, like, you know, how a thing feels and behaves and so forth, and how it gives me feedback and communicates with me means a lot to me. So apart from the sound, that is exceptional. The whole experience that you have with the headphone, from the cable to the build to the materials that have been used, it just feels utterly purposefully high-end, I would say. And it was a beautiful experience. I can't wait to listen to the next track. The next track that I'm going to listen to is a classic of mine. Oh, I think, yeah, like, let's go for a classic. I love LSD. I want to listen to it. This track was produced in a studio in Berlin, and that studio was measured properly. You know, like, adjusted properly from the acoustics. And mix-wise, this track is a decade old exactly now, but it still kicks ass. So this is what I'm going to listen next.
dash algorithm works.
Okay, now for the last track that I want to listen to the check is Forgotten Rituals. That's a newer production of mine. And then we are done with my first impression. But I can tell you that I love it. It's very... amazing. Forgotten Tribes, exactly. This will be the last Okay, let's turn up the microphone. All right. Again, one of the best experiences that I had in my life. Wait, I'm going to activate the direct monitoring. It's very, very thick. The sound is super dense, but very, very hyper realistic, you can say. Even if I am listening to my voice, the first thing that I did when I started the microphone was listening through direct record through a Rode micro audio interface, and it sounds super natural? Does it do what it's supposed to do? Be an absurdly good studio headphone? Yes, I can totally say that this is something that I have never experienced. So like it's really, you believe it or not, in this case you are paying for something special. This is why it costs 2,000 euro. It's because there is no comparison in with other headphones. There's, in my opinion, nothing like that I have experienced. Of course, my experience is also limited, but I'm working as a music producer professionally since over a decade, and I had a couple of pair of headphones on my head. Usually DT990s do the job, but we are talking totally two different games here, two totally different experiences. It was really awesome. Man, I'm really thankful for this experience.